We are on, mate. So welcome back to the Rodcast, everybody. We are back for another episode, and both Lek and I are super pumped for this one, man. I reckon you can do the honours for this one of your great mates.
Yeah, one of me really good mates in the hot seat. I've been keen to get him on for ages now, but the best way to describe this bloke is Barra King. That is about all that needs saying. So one of Australia's most iconic fish, the barramundi, has been an obsession of mine for ages. And I met this bloke in 2022 doing the Gibb River Road, and I booked a fishing charter with my son Rex, and pulled up at the gates at Home Valley Station and rocks up Birchy with his son Patrick, and it was, to this day, one of the most memorable fishing days I've had in my entire life, and from there sparked a wicked friendship with my man Birchy. So Birchy, welcome to the hot seat, mate.
Yeah, good morning, boys.
Welcome, brother. Stoked to have you on, mate. We've been talking about this for a very long time, or not a very long time, but since we started this podcast, Lek was always adamant that he wanted to get you on, man. So welcome. Mate, we start every podcast with the last fish you caught. I'm pretty sure we're all going to know what the last fish you caught was, but was it a barra?
Yeah,
Nice.
my last fish I caught was $1.26 the other day.
Just
No
a
worries.
meter 26 barra. Yeah, cool, mate.
That is why he's called the Barra King. We'll have to get a photo of that too. You did send me.
Yeah, I sent you that one.
Yeah. So where were you fishing out of?
Yeah, hang on.
Let me set the scene here.
Set the scene for us, Birchy.
You don't have to give away your exact.
No, it's
spot.
at Parry's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little creek next to Wyndham.
Yep.
I took you guys there. Yeah, it's one of my favourite spots on a neap tide.
Yep.
Then again, fish it on a smaller tide. You can't get in there. Big tide.
How come you can't get in there on the big tide?
Marsh is wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because your big tides up there, 8.3 meters a day, cover everything.
Yeah, right. And what did you catch it on?
Chunk bait.
So
There you go.
Yeah, we're straight into it here, guys, because this is something I learnt very quickly with Birchy. Is he, as you can hear, he knows how to read a river, but the techniques, like with barramundi, I'd always been like, you have to, I felt like, you have to dot every I and cross every T, and you need live mullet and all this sort of stuff. But given the right circumstances, you actually get big river mullet and you cut them up into chunks, similar to like a cutlet, and you'll throw a big 10-0 hook in it and throw it out on a hand line, and it's effective, eh?
Yeah, and a lot of people say, you'll just catch catfish on it, but yeah, that's my go-to secret.
Chunk baits.
Chunk baits, man. So even if we've got live bait, you always throw a
Yeah,
chunk bait.
even on that day, the last day we went fishing, we had about 4 liveys that never got touched. Never.
And the chunk bait did.
Chunk bait is just gone off. We got 10 barra and 3 was over a meter.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Because 126, 109 and 104.
Hell yeah. Well, we're up there at the end of the month.
Mate, so you can say-
I got my notepad here.
You'll see me and Rothy just giggling and smiling throughout this whole episode because, yeah, we've got a trip booked in about 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to get an invite on the boys' trip that you guys do every year with who we got coming on that trip.
Yeah, so we got Luke from Mount Hart, Reese from Westerberg, myself, and Nath Robb do an annual trip to the Home Valley Station and in the off season, so everything's shut, and Birchy shows us around his country, and we call it the King of the Pentecost. We got a trophy made up last year. Birchy, who won?
I won it.
Of course you did.
I was like-
That thing's never leaving Connemara.
It was the worst thing I did because I was like, Birchy's we're gonna go up there and he's gonna show us around, and then I was like, Birchy, I got a trophy made up for King of the Pentecost, and
He's
then
just like, give it to me now.
yeah, he's like, all of a sudden, like 10 hand lines come out of the car, and he's like, I'm winning that cunt.
It is funny, yeah.
Nice. So, Birchy, just for our listeners, we obviously know where you're based and all that, but you're in Connemara, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm based in Kannar and also Home Valley Station.
Yep. So,
Cool.
Home Valley Station, tell us a little bit
So
about
Home
that.
Valley Station is 120 k's south of Kannar along the Gibb River Road. Now it's all bitumized.
Yep.
Right to the gate. So
Kind of like Lecker.
Yeah. It's softer now.
yeah. So it's down the Gibb River Road, just past El Cresta across the Pentecost, and I operate at those 2 places. Tour wise, we got a variety of tours. We do full day fishing from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we also do night fishing from 3 p.m. till late. And then we got the hunting side of it. We got 2 hunting trips we do. We do just a normal fishing, just fishing and hunting. We do smoking ceremony, turkey shooting, and then go fishing all day. That's from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then we got the full experience. There's a smoking ceremony, turkey shooting, fishing. Then we go shoot a cow.
Wow.
Tell people on how we do it and how we live off the land and provide for our family. Give them that experience of a lifetime that no one else has ever offer on another tour. And then we got the tag-alongs that we do. We do overnight camps. We do 3-day tag-alongs, and we do a 3-day, 5-day, and a 10-dayer.
So when you say a tag along, that's when someone can bring their own vehicle and their own gear.
On gear, everything. Yeah.
And you basically guide them through your country.
Yeah, just guide them through. So we just set on the 3 to 5 day tour. We just set up a big base camp and fish at it and hunt at it. The 10 days, it's all self-sufficient. We do the Umbulgari track.
Wow.
Up the Carson River, yeah.
I've watched the boys from Fall Drive 24/7 do that trip. So it looks pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, I love that doing 10 days because out in the country where I grew up, and it's awesome.
So full experience is what people are getting when they come out on a tour with you. It's
the best, mate.
Yeah, so it's exactly how you'd be doing it if you're out there
with my family
on your own. Yeah, nice.
Even every day fishing is just it's just like taking my family. It's very raw. I don't change anything.
Yeah,
you jump in a car with no dashboard, bullet holes through the door.
Nice. So it really is a culture experience.
Yeah, bro, yeah.
So obviously, to give that culture experience, Birchy, you're a man of culture. I want to know a bit about you, man. So tell us about your upbringing and where you grew up and sort of how this all came to be.
Yeah, so people who came on my tour already, they know what I do on the way out on a normal day. I share my life story with everybody just to give it a history of what I've been through to get to where I am today. It wasn't easy. I went down a road that I never thought I'd come out of, and I also shared to raise awareness for men's health and just to also inspire everyone, women, men, kids, whoever listen to my story that I shared with. And from me doing that, I look at it as it's a way of letting that person know who they're with, make them feel comfortable, let them know, so they feel a bit more safer once they hear a story like that. Some people, you don't know who you're going out fishing with, so you sort of break barriers and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, I start from my mum and dad. My mum and dad were stolen generation. They were taken away from the parents from the age of 3-year-old. They wasn't let out of a mission until they were 14. My dad was in the Forest River mission. Now it's a community established as a community called Umbulgari. Now it's all closed. My mum was at Mullabulla mission near Halls Creek. And yeah, like I said, my dad's 78. My mum's 70 now. I'm so lucky I still have mum and dad still around. And my upbringing, I'm one of 8 kids. I got 6 sisters, 1 brother. All my sisters are older than me. I'm the oldest boy in the family. And my younger brother's 32. My upbringing was the best upbringing ever. In the household, we never seen drugs, we never seen violence, we never seen alcohol. Mum and dad never drank or smoked or none of that stuff. We never witnessed any of that stuff. Mum and dad always worked hard all their life. My dad, from the age of 14, he's still working today. My mum did 33 years in Department of Children Protection. And like I said, yeah, my household was the best household ever. I can't complain. The road that I took down, I went down this road that I choose to go down the road that I went down. But yeah, so myself with schooling, I pulled it at a very young age at 10-year-old. I used to get bullied a lot. So being a young man, you get taught mentally and physically not to show weakness, otherwise they just keep picking on you. So I told my mum, I was too frightened to tell my dad because my dad was a straight up guy. He would have told me to stand up and fight. And yeah, my mum said, like every other parent would say, it'll go away. We'll talk to the teachers, but it just got worse and worse. So I said, nah, I'm not going back to school. So my dad said to me, if you don't go to school, you're coming to work for me. So I grew up pretty much out on country. I never grew up in town. Schooling wasn't for me. I pulled out. I went out in country, learned how to master cattle, learned how to operate machinery. I'm not a qualified mechanic, but I know myself around a car. I'm the best bush mechanic
I've been told. I've seen some videos.
And yeah, just, the life skills I know today from my dad and my uncle, just, fishing and how to read river systems and country and how to manage country, how to look after it. Because, if you don't look after country, the country don't look after you. And yeah, I was out there from the age of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I came into town. We came in for a break and I met my first partner back then. And she ended up falling pregnant. I had my first child when I was 14. It's very hard being a parent. And, I didn't know anything about being a parent back then. I was just young and dumb love.
You're
And
a kid yourself, aren't you, at that age?
And then, we went our separate ways. I went back out on country with my dad for, the rest of just closing up on the season for mustering. And then one of my cousins came up from Perth and he's like, bro, come to Perth. A lot of chicks down there. I'm chasing girls around. So I come down here meant to be for a 2 weeks holiday. I ended up staying down here for 3 years. When I got to Perth, I got introduced to boxing. And now looking back at it now with a healthy and clear mind, I knew what I was doing. My trauma started when I was 10 years old. I came down here, I got introduced to boxing. I did 3 years of professional boxing. I came back home. I got all my skills up. I knew what I was doing. I had all this rage inside of me.
You were sharp with your hands.
Yeah, bro.
When you got that rage, and so I can relate to you a little bit here, man. I grew up boxing too.
Yep.
That's your outlet, and not having that control when you got that skills a bit, that's a dangerous thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, look back at it now, and it's just with all that rage, very, very dangerous.
Recipe for disaster, really.
Yeah, and I got back home. I still remember like it was yesterday. I was just turning 17, and I got off the plane, and my mom and dad told me, don't get involved with your cousins. Because my cousins are still family feuding today. 40, 50 years just passed on generation to generation to generation.
Sorry, Birchy, you say family feuding. Is that
family
with
fighting.
each other?
Yeah, just different families, bro, just fighting. And you're hating somebody from as soon as you're born, you get taught to hate somebody that you don't even know for a bar or so because your family doesn't like them.
Yeah, okay.
And then it's just
passed on
trauma and stuff like that. And I was totally involved. Like I said, since my mom said that to me, I said, in my vision back then, it is like, these guys did it to me, I'm going to do it to them. I thought violence was the cure. They didn't get into trouble of bullying me or picking on me. And like I said, I knew what I was doing. Like when I came home, I was fit. I knew no one could beat me back then. I was fit as a fiddle. I was hitting my targets. I was training every day. And we got it back to Wyndham. The first night, bro, since I went down the street, I became the bully of the Kimberleys. I used to fight every day. And I look back at it now, like, what a life. Now I can walk around without worry. Before I used to look over my shoulder. I couldn't go to a town to enjoy myself because I love basketball. I used to travel around everywhere for basketball. As soon as you get to a town, someone would just come to you and just want to fight you because of your reputation. And like, I don't even know you. And then like, let's have a smash. I said, no. Then it go on. Then next thing you know, then I'm fighting the whole 10, 15 blokes that was in front of me. But I got addicted to fighting like it is a drug, the stand-over tactic, bullying. I could walk into a party and if I didn't have alcohol and stuff, I just grabbed somebody's esky and walk out with it. I wanted somebody's woman, I could walk up and say, I'm taking her home tonight because I knew they wouldn't fight back. And it is very, like I look back at it now, it's scary. Like you look at it now, things like happen these days. If you hit somebody, people drop dead. And yeah, I got addicted to fighting like it is a drug. And I met my wife who I'm married to today. I met her in 2005. I'll tell you a funny story, this one. How we met. We was at the basketball courts in her community at One Arm Point, north of Broome.
Yep.
And all these kids like, oh God, there's this bloke jumping around, dunking around, I was showing off. And yeah, I seen my wife there. I met her and yeah, she's like, oh, what's your name? I was like, I'm LeBron James. But yeah.
That's what Billy says out the front.
Yeah.
Lex son when he shoots.
He thinks he's Ronaldo.
Yeah, I was running a muck there and then here we are married today. We've been together 20 years. But then 2006 going in 2007, I ran away with her back to Wyndham. Stuck back to Wyndham. My mother-in-law didn't like me back then. I ran away with her daughter and she's like, you better bring my daughter back. Now my mother-in-law loves me. But we got back to Wyndham and we were at the shops one day and 4 guys tried to jump me. So I got stuck into them and Wyndham is like the wild, wild west, bro. If the crowds are too big, the police tell you take it out of town, sort it out. On the marsh and then this day I had a fight in the marsh and we one thing led to another. I had 4 fights that day, and in that incident, somebody passed away when we were fighting. And I did four and a half.
Shit.
I did 4.5 years in prison. From 2007, 2011, I came out. I spent my 18th birthday in prison and my 21st. And came out 2011. We had our second son then. We had Patrick, my big boy that Mark talked about earlier on. And then, 2012, I forgot to mention earlier on, I got 6 kids.
Yep.
I'm only 36, but yeah, a few more coming.
The big rooster.
A few more coming.
I need a junior. But yeah, and then I came out 2011 and 2012. I had a terrible, terrible accident on the driveway. I reversed on my little nephew. I called him my baby. He's under my car, and I reversed and I killed him. And I went down this road that I never thought I'd come out of. I turned to drugs and alcohol as a cure. I thought there was a cure because every time I got on it, like when I'm in drugs and alcohol, I used to do ice. I used to sell ice. I used to drink 11 to 10 cartons a day. I pushed all my loved ones away. That was my life. Just doing drugs and drinking alcohol every day, every night. I used to drink myself to sleep, always on the gear. I can vouch for myself. I never ever did anything bad on it. It was just to blur my mind out.
And escape.
And escape, yep. Just lock myself into that world. And every day I was on from 2011, 2012, 13, 14, I came home. And then I realized what I've lost when my wife left me with my big kids. She'd have a restraining order on the table saying, see you later, I can't do this anymore. It was never a happy home. We always blamed each other and always arguing. And like I said, I never ever did drugs around my kids or my wife. I was always away with the boys, hotel rooms and other places. And then I hit rock bottom. And then my wife went back to One Point, Broome, where mum was living at that time. And then we started, I just keep hitting rock bottom, but I just kept, on the drugs and alcohol. One of my young uncles that plays a big part in my life, young Uncle Daniel, he came up from Port Hedland. He used to live in Hedland. He used to work on the mines and seen the state I was in. Like, come to Hedland, Uncle, clean yourself up. This is not you. So I went to Port Hedland to change my life, and I did that. I gave up drinking, gave up drugs, started hanging with positive people. It wasn't working. I was just into training. Got fit again. I was 85 kilos full of muscle. I started training again in 2014. And then I reached out to my partner who I'm married to today. She said, nah, I don't trust it. Still fresh off it, so it's time to move on. So I met another woman in Hedland, had another baby. And that wasn't happy. It wasn't happy home. Didn't work out for us. So I told us I'm going back home, back to Kununurra. So I went back there in 2016, middle 2016. I went back home to Kununurra and I was doing all right. And then I reached out to my wife and she said, all right, let's give another crack for the kids. I said, all right. So I moved back to Broome and then I got caught up with the wrong group again, started smoking drugs again and started from a weekend. You just have a pipe. Next thing you know, I'm fully into it again. Starting, yep. Drinking again. And then my wife sort of gave up and said, I'll live with you. That's your life. But that's you. So then 2017, we moved back to Kununurra and I was fully into it then back then. I was just fully selling that. That was my lifestyle, drugs and alcohol. I was a dealer and everything. And skipped the New Year's Eve. We were sitting on the driveway. I like to be honest with everybody. I was on the driveway. I was awake for about 5 days. And we're getting ready to go out to the New Year's Eve party at the pub. And in that 5 days, I drank a lot of alcohol. I put a lot of drugs in my system. We're sitting on the driveway and the kids playing around the yards. And, through drugs, we had a lot of money and stuff. And, I always had the crowd, always had all the fake, I look back at it now, all the fake friends.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to have a driveway full of them. Yep. Sitting on, let's go to Birchy. Yes, he's got the alcohol, he's got the drugs, he's got the money. And I was blindsided by that. I was caught in a bubble, just, my friend, blah, just feed them out.
Yeah, I'm the man.
Yeah, I'm the man. I'm the big dog.
Yeah.
And then we just, honestly, my kids were playing in the yard. And like I said, I was awake for about 5 days. A lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs. And my kids were playing. And this breeze come through me. And in that breeze, there was a message. I look back at it now that it was my old people telling me to, that's enough now, wake up, fight this demon inside you. And that message made me look at my kids and said to myself, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? Do I want to give my kids the best future I can or still sell drugs and be an alcoholic? And my wife caught me looking at my kids. He said, you're right on. I said, as I looked at her, I said, I'm giving up tomorrow. She said, fuck off. You'll never give that up. I had 6-7 kilos of that stuff in my possession then. She said, look at that. You'll never give that up. The money is too much for you. That's your life. I said, I'm giving up tomorrow. I said, all right. I heard it before. So we went to the pub for the last night. I came home the next day, bring the boys up, come get all the drugs. We kept the money. Didn't mean fuck all to me. We spent that money like the wind blows, man. Quicker the wind blows, quicker the money went out of my pocket. I went 14 days in my room. I did all my healing myself with my wife and my family. I went 14 days in my room. The hardest thing was alcohol. Drugs, I was off for 3 days. Alcohol was the scariest withdrawals I'll ever go through in my life, I reckon.
Really?
I've heard that before.
I could see myself sleeping, bro. I had out of body experience. That is the most scariest thing ever.
Wow.
My wife said I used to be screaming in my sleep. I used to have aircon on. I used to be sweating, bro. I could be just soaking sweat. I used to sleep 23 hours a day, get up for a feed, shit, shower, give my kids a kiss and back in the room. And I fought all my demons in there. And like I said, the hardest thing was alcohol because even after I came out of my 14 days in my room, you drive around town, the first thing you see, somebody's drinking. You walk outside your house, someone's walking past with a can. And then I was just a stay-at-home dad, 2018. And then 2019, one of the boys, he kept pestering me to help him go set this camp up. I was like, yeah, no worries, let's go. And then 50 tents later, I was like, what the fuck's this camp, bro? Oh, it's a men's camp. Ernie Dingo's running it called Camping on Country. And I said, fuck.
Ernie Dingo.
Yeah,
right.
He was running a camp. It was a social emotional being camp for Aboriginal men. And I said to them, I don't want to be here. What the fuck I'm here for? I just come to set this camp. He's like, let's just stay and see what it's all about, bro. I stayed there, went for a week. Like I said, it is a social emotional being camp for Aboriginal men. So on Ernie's crew at Ernie Dingo had a white fella. They had 4 Indigenous camp hands, had an Indigenous doctor and an Indigenous counsellor. And they created a safe place around the fire every night, sharing a yarning session. You can share if you want to share, but you just got to sit down. There's a first night I didn't share, second night didn't share, then third night everybody started feeling, you feel comfortable, you feel safe, and other men start opening up. I was like, I'm fucking ready. I'm ready to share my story. I see the funny side of it now because the first time I ever shared my story went for 20 seconds.
You're going for 20 minutes. So
I'm Birchy. I'm Birchy. I met my wife by telling her I was LeBron.
It was funny because sit around a circle with 50 other men and you try to get up, your hands get nervous, it's coming around to your spot and I didn't know what to say. I wasn't like, I couldn't open up like that.
It's a massive moment of vulnerability.
I was like, my foot's shaking, sweating, my hands are moving and you try to get up and I just sit down even if you just got to listen. And I shared my story for 20 seconds, like, my name's Sam, blah, 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 and that's it. And then on that night, that counsellor scene, I had a lot of stuff bottled up. So later on, after the yarning session and dinner, we went night fishing and that counsellor seen me, had a yarn with me, hey, brother, how you doing? And, asked me a few questions if I'm working. And I said, I'm just a stay-home dad. And I told him patches of my life. And he said, you want to work for us? I said, yeah, fucking I'd love to work for you guys. But at that time, I thought, they're just fucking crap. Trying to build us up, make us feel good. 2 weeks went on, no phone call. I said, they're full of shit. My third week, my phone rang. He said, hey, brother, you still want that job? I said, fucking I love that job. So this is when my life turned for the positive reasons. I went traveling all Northern Australia doing social emotional well-being camps for Aboriginal men. When I was over there, up in Queensland, I gave myself to the Lord. I don't go to church every day, but I believe in Jesus Christ. And ever since I gave myself to the Lord, my life has never been any better. It's just been amazing. It's just awesome. His guidance and the message that he passed along every day to me and every night with my family is just amazing. The best thing I've ever done in my life was seeing a professional counsellor. Talk to somebody about my problems, and I would be here today sharing, talking like this fluently without, especially talking about my little baby and the trauma that I've been through.
Oh, mate, I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah.
You to sit here and share that, man, like, I admire you.
Cheers, brother. Yeah. And we I got professional help over there, gave myself to the Lord. And each camp, the biggest camp I've run, because I ended up being the camp manager over there. We run 120 men camp in Mariba, and I had to get up and share my story in front of 120 men that I didn't know for Barra Soap. And like I said, like I was still going to Jesus, where he gave me the strength to stand up in front of 120 men and share my story and to inspire every other man that if I went through this and I'm here now making a change. And that is my second year coming through all this stuff and recognizing it. And after getting professional help, and it was just straight out of counseling. I did that 2 days before it. Like, I opened up, and then I just started talking fluently, like just talking about all my stuff to other people and sharing my story every day and just inspiring them and opening their eyes. And you're thinking, holy smoke. Like, I might have a story, but the fellas next to me, after they got up, I was like, just made me stronger and stronger listening to their story, opening up. And I was like, nah, I have to keep sharing. There's something here that's telling me to just keep sharing my story every day, try and inspire everybody just to, if you ever be down, the only way is up. If you ever hit rock bottom. And I did that all 2019. I came back Christmas time, and my wife, this is how I got into tourism. It's funny, this one. I was sitting around the dinner table. My wife said, "Oh, what do you do now?" I said, "I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad." She said, "Fuck off, you're getting a job."
So this is, we got to give her a shout out. Mate. She
definitely.
is a special. She is a special woman, and obviously I've heard this story, like your story, multiple times, and it never gets any easier. But
man, I'm like shaking.
I know, man. Like, and so this next story that you're about to tell is like how important of a woman she is as to where your life has turned around. And keep going and tell us how you got
real quick,
into
Birchy, before you keep going, just pull that mic over the leg a little bit, bro.
Yeah.
Just this way. Just fold it in a bit.
Yep.
There we go.
see your face. Like honestly, she is just an absolute superstar. But so tell us how you got into these tours, man.
She's my backbone, and I wouldn't be here without her. I wouldn't be sitting down where I am now without my wife. She stuck by my side, even when I went to jail 4.5 years with my family. And I used to be a run amok person. I used to cheat. I used to run a total fuck. I always leave her home when I was younger, cheating on her and mucking around, and she stayed by my side. And now we are married and happy, and put all that stuff behind us. But I wouldn't be here without her. But we came home, and she said, "Fuck off, you getting a job." And then we're looking around, wet season up home, because we come back in November, December, and shitty jobs.
The wet season's quiet, right?
Quiet, yeah.
That's summer.
Yeah, up home is wet, for us, yeah.
Yeah.
November, December, and no jobs are going, and this Coles job was going. I said, well, I'll go and stack some shells. Whack. They did that for 3 months. And it's not for me. And then same thing, back at the dinner table again. She said, "Oh, what are you going to do now?" I said, "I'll stay home." He said, "Fucking you doing something." So we sat down, and she said to me, why don't you start your own business up doing something you love? And to be honest, guys, I still struggle on reading and writing today from pulling out of school at a very young age. I said, it's going to be hard. I said, "You know what? Give me a day. I'll think about it." Fucking. I went to bed. Next day I got up. I said, "You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go down here. Let's get an ABN. Let's just send it. Let's just do it. If we fail, we'll fail. We'll get back up and do it again. If we succeed, we'll just keep pushing on."
And that punt you took, was that your tours?
My tours, brother. That's what I own and run today.
Wow. How long have you been going now?
5 years now. So went down, got an ABN. We started with nothing. I started with $70 in my account and a busted ass Harlux. And
was that the Love Lux?
The Love Lux. I still got it. It's a weapon of the rig. And like a lot of people say, "Oh, you got to have this to start up a big thing." I did it. The things, like when you come up next week, brother, you'll see there's no fancy dishes. I make fun and say, "There's no fancy dishes around here. There's no red carpet." I try and give people that rawness of it too, that
mate, I want nothing more, nothing less.
Dude, so exactly what Birchy's talking about. We took the Love Lux out. It was me, Rex, Patrick, and Birchy, and it was like, "Oh, we're gonna try and go get a bush turkey in the morning." So we go out.
You just seen his face on this one.
Oh yeah, go out, and then we're on the marsh, and bush turkey flew off. We never actually got it, but Birchy's turned the car off, and we're in the middle of nowhere. And then he gets back in the driver's seat and just
Oh, no.
And he just looks over at me and I'm sort of like, what's going on? He's like, car's fucked. And then he's like, bonnet up. And I was just sitting myself, I'm like, fuck, we're meant to be catching fish and doing all this. And then he's like, pulls a screwdriver out. Didn't you? It was the start.
It started a screwdriver and a hammer.
A screwdriver and a hammer. And he's like, just starts tapping under the bonnet. And he's like, turn that key over now, brother. And then
It
started motor locked up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as soon as I said, we're walking now, bro. He's like,
Yeah.
But yeah.
Rexy only would have been young too, eh?
Yeah, he was
Rexy,
only 5, I reckon.
5, yeah. And then, yeah, so I went down and got my ABN and, yeah, that's when my journey started. So that's my, now I'm 5 years into my business. I'm living my best life ever. I'm married. I'm happy, meeting awesome people along the way, like Leka, come along with the brotherhood. We grew friendship with the first day. Like, it is just real. I'll tell you a funny. So so Benny from, what he does?
Kimberly Dreamin'.
Kimberly Dreamin' rang up, hey, Birchy, brother, you doing? He's Leka's in town. He wants to do a fishing chat. So I'll send him my details, this and that. And then I told my wife, because my wife's a mad West Coast fan.
Oh, yeah.
And
You're a Geelong supporter too.
I'm a Geelong supporter. And
You're like, fuck that guy. He's not coming on my tour.
And yeah, Leka was probably one of the first, I don't know, popular people that I ever came out of business and came out on tour. And my wife said, you better give him, you better give him, do extra with him. I said, all right, no worries. And then she said, you better do, this and that. I said, all right. So we went out, we did the day, we got Rex onto a big barrel with his popper and stuff like that. And yeah, we came home and my wife said, like, she's waiting at the door like a kid at the candy. She said, what happened? Tell me about this. And I said, he hated it, but bullshit. He said, fucking don't lie to me. I said, nah, he loved it. And then yeah, we
What about the cow? You got to tell the story about rolling back into El Questro. Remember you dropped me all the way back in there?
So yeah, he's like, hey bro, we shot the cow and cut it up and on the back of the Hilux. So how we do our beef, it's we just shoot it, bone it out on the ground, and we use gum leaves as like a canvas sort of thing, and it helps protect the dust and dirt and
So you lay that underneath there.
Yeah, and then you put some on top.
Yep.
And he's like, M's not picking up, bro. Can you drop me back? I said, yeah, no worries, bro. Come back in and
I'm staying at the caravan park, which is like jam-packed, full, like peak season. We're in there with our caravan right in the middle of it. And Birchy, M's not answering the phone. Can you drop us back in there? Anyway, so you keep going.
And yeah, we got back in. It is like the perfect time. We rock up and it's like packed in like sardines. Just jam-packed. Like, so where you staying? He said, I just got in this way, bro. And driving past people. And couldn't be any better. We pull up near the bus stop. He's camping right near the bus stop. And this big bus pull up with all these tourists and they're looking up top, looking down in my car. This cow laying in the back.
Oh, God, just butchered.
And they were, what is that? And me with a big rib cage and shoulder blade and
getting full mongrel in it.
Some backstrap. And they're like, oh, poor cow. But then we asked them, where you going? And they're walking to the steakhouse. Like,
no sense. People are just out of touch with.
And then he walks up and M says, where are you guys going to put that? And he's like, I said, hanging off the awning tonight, let it air out.
She was like, fuck, there's no way. She's like, you better put that in the esky. But mate, we ate like kings for the whole Gibb River Road, mate. We ate fresh beef, fresh barramundi.
So yeah, so I'll finish up with my story. So like I said, now I got my like AVN and stuff, and now like I said, I'm 5 years now in my business. I'm living my best life ever. I'm married. I'm happy. My kids are happy. Our home's always happy. Like I said, I never thought I'd be on TV. I never thought I'd be sitting down here doing this. I never thought I'd be traveling in Australia doing 4 drive shows and inspiring and being
on stage.
Speaking on stage, bro. This weekend I'm in a finalist for awards night here in Perth. It's amazing. I got Leka coming along with me and my wife. Yeah, I can't wait. Hopefully, if I take it out, I'll take it out. If not, I'm just happy to be there.
That's for
Tourism WA.
Oh, huge, mate. Yeah. Congratulations, man. That's
cheers.
Awesome.
And then on the side of my fishing and hunting business, I run my own men's camp now. I do social emotional beating camp, but for all race. No matter if you're black, white, African, Asian, Chinese, everybody's welcome to come along. Biggest camp I've run so far, 61 men. All of my own bet. Even still today with my business, we never ever got funding, grants, never got anything. Everything's just my blood, sweat, and tears going to my business. And that's the way I wanted to be. I wanted to earn it. I didn't want to get it given to me. I wanted to just, everything's my blood, sweat, and tears go into my business, even also my men's group. You know, we go out and just go out in country for a week. We swag it, live off the land. I build that brotherhood very quick in a men's group. I take no food. We take like rice, and all the potato, pumpkin and stuff. But if we need to eat,
your own protein.
We got to work together. And I say to them, I said, no food, boys. You know, we got to build this brotherhood very quick. We got to on the big trip last year we did with the 61 men. I just take 2 packets of bullets, and here we are, boys. We have to build that, break those barriers. You know,
Work to eat.
And you know, the first days are always a bit quiet, but bro, the third, fourth day, man, you can't shut them up. They're opening up. They're talking. They want to change their life. They actually see things like, you know, the brighter side of things. Also use Home Valley as a work facility. I have a few men through my men's group working at there now. I've been there for a year and a bit, working for a few of them. But then I just ran a big forum. I was a spokesperson in Karanara a couple of days ago for a men's group, and sharing my story in front of the men that I grew up with, that they didn't even have a bar of soap. They didn't know anything about me, what I've been through behind closed doors. They knew me who I used to be and seen the outrage and stuff like I used to do around town, but they actually didn't listen to my story. And I got up the other day, I broke a tear, bro. I was crying. I was just because I just seen everybody's face like, holy smoke. And even the other men, like, we grew up with this man. We didn't know this about him. But then I used to see what I used to let out when I was drunk and stuff. But yeah, that's a bit about myself, bro. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask me.
Mate, I'm sure I'm going to have so many questions. I'm about to spend, you know, a good week with you up in Kununurra, and I cannot wait, mate. But I just want to say, like, you that touched me hearing what you just said. That's so brave for sharing that story, man. So,
no, cheers, brother.
Yeah, good on you, dude.
Mate, I appreciate it. And one thing that through all the mental health side of things, and obviously there's a lot of youth crime and trouble up in Kununurra, and talking to Birchy, he said we need leaders up there.
Yeah,
we need, so part of his thing with getting people up and sharing their story in these men's group is trying to help the older generation up there to be, you know, for the young generation to be able to look up to and take them out on country and all this sort of things. And going through what you've been through, to be able to come out the other side of it, set up your own business, be successful, and be able to do all the things that you do, mate, there's no greater leader up in the East Kimberley. I feel like you've done unbelievable job so far and still got plenty of good stuff to do as well.
Yeah, you're an example, mate.
Cheers, brothers. Yeah.
But
that's epic.
I want to pick your brain about some of the fishing stuff.
Yeah, let's go. Your story is going to be shared with a lot of people through this podcast.
Definitely,
man,
bro.
But the reason that they are really here is the fishing. So what do we start with, mate? So obviously the Barra. You got anything that you want to touch on first, Lek? I've got a few notes here.
Birchy, I like, so the country that you have access to. So your tours, it's something that no other sort of charter operator that I've found has in their possession. Like, you are a traditional owner around the Pentecost River and Home Valley Station. So talk to us a little bit about the river systems that you fish and you have access to. One of them is probably the most iconic, most well-photographed river just about in Australia. So tell us a little bit about the exact country that you fish on.
Yeah, so I'm a traditional owner of the Balangara country. So we got the top half of the East Kimberley, from like the whole Gib. So if you look at from Derby onwards up towards Clumberoo, Kununurra, I'm a traditional owner of all that area. The rivers I fish, and my favorite river is the Pentecost, the mighty Pentecost. We call it the home of the monsters. I pulled majority.
Here we go.
I pulled majority of all my big fish out of the Pentecost. I do fish the Perry's. Perry's still on Balangara country, but just around Home Valley, like I mainly fish out at the Pentecost and the Durack River, the Wilson, where I got Lack onto his biggest barra ever.
There's the scale right behind me of the biggest barra. I've caught 111.
Put a photo up.
But yeah, we do all that, all fishing and hunting on Balangara country. So if you look it up, shows on the map, you search up Balangara country and it'll come up.
Yeah,
pretty amazing, pretty big.
So if someone's going up there and they can't have access to a Birchy's fishing tour, what are some of the key things that they should do if they want to catch their first ever barramundi and you're driving through the East Kimberley? A couple of things that you might need to know.
First thing, learn how to cast that cast net. you can flick lures all day. Sometimes they'll just look at the lure.
You should see me try and throw one. It's pretty
We're
funny.
going to find out.
Yeah, day one.
But yeah,
you
just
need a lesson.
cast net, learn how to throw a cast net, or even just talk to a local. Ask him, try to pick a local brain. I'm sure they'll let you know some secrets and where to go and what to use, what to fish and stuff. But if the reason why I say use a cast, you get some bait, so then you get everything's covered. You can fish with live bait, dead bait, then you can flick a lure around, so you get more chances. Like I said, when I go fishing, I have 20 lines out.
And what about tides? They play a big role up there.
Big role, yeah. So I like to fish where there's no water, like no tide or a smaller tide. Bigger tide, I fish up a river where there's no current. Like there's current, but not a lot of current. Night fishing as well is very, very awesome. It's very good. Fish barrows feed more at night.
Yep.
But then also during the day, if you get the tides right and you hit it perfectly, you'll be spot on.
Yep. So when you're going up the river, Birchy, what's a telltale sign that you're going, all right, this is worth putting a line out here?
I look at the marine life. If there's a heap of bait around and if they're tucked up against a bank,
okay,
that's a secret. There's big fish there.
Right.
There's
So
no bait.
the barra pushing the bait up.
Yep.
And it's mullet.
Mullets are very scared to go back out in the middle. They get smashed.
Gotcha.
Even if you're fishing and you see a mullet swimming in the water
In the middle.
just pick it up. There's no fish there.
Yeah, right.
But that mullet is not frightened or anything.
Yeah.
He knows there's no big fish or no fish around.
So are you looking at conditions or anything before you go? Are you checking out, weather forecast or anything
Nah,
like that?
I just
Or
send it, bro.
You just get out there and sort of use your instinct.
Yeah, no, bro, I don't bother looking at the rain or anything. It's just
Get
get to the
after it.
spot. Once you get, I'm very, very connected to my country. I can pull up, like I took out a brother boys the other day from Beagle Bay. Never went fishing. He does fishing a lot, like blue water fishing up north of Broome.
Yep.
Caught a few barras and that. And he went camp fishing with me the other day. He got his first meter barra, meter 10 he got. And then I said, all right, that's enough for you. You got your fame. And he's like, why is that? I said, I'll show you. And then I sat down and I was like, come on. I was mucking around. Bang.
Call him in.
He's like,
Like your pets.
He's like, something's wrong with you. I said, what do you mean? He said, someone touched your line there. You got something. I said, no, that's just me.
Yeah.
I got 3 over a meter in 10 minutes.
No way.
Someone tried to come there and try to take the Barra King fame. I said, no.
Yeah, that's the one thing you don't do when you go up north is try and claim.
But yeah, just showing them boys and people don't actually see in what actually happened goes along. And like we don't put stuff up in the background of getting bait. Like we went that morning, we walked for 40 minutes to get bait. People don't see that. They don't see that hard work. He's like, oh, we don't see this. I was like, come on, get the bucket, walk it across croc infested waters and risking it for the biscuit.
Yeah.
So I have warned Rothy about this and I know he's up for it, but I said to him, I was like, you got to come up and do this Birchy trip. I was like, we go for 4 or 5 days. I was like, it is hard. It's like you're running on fumes, you're running on no sleep, you're standing out in the stinking hot weather, you're walking 40 minutes to get bait. I was like, you catch awesome fish and everything like that, but at the end of it, you're absolutely stuffed. Like this is not a holiday.
Yeah,
and you go hard, you're in the mud, all this sort of stuff. You're getting bogged. Last time I went up with Birchy, the wheel fell off the 80 series in the middle of nowhere, so we're fixing it.
In the heat.
Yeah, redoing like the radiator.
Reese getting cooked all the rest of the month.
Nate said, he goes, the first thing we'll be doing when we get up there is probably fixing the car.
Is fixing a car. And like it is hard, but we've had this conversation on here before. The hard experiences are just the best.
That's the one you remember.
And Birchy, he says this thing with like, connection to country. And being able to read the rivers and the conditions. It is something that you walk away from down here. It's really hard to have a connection and a spiritual connection.
Yeah.
But when you get up into the Kimberley and you're sitting there and you can see every star in the sky, and Birchy tells you stories of the generations gone by, and you actually you do feel like there's something more to this.
Here.
Like I get it, and the smoking ceremony is one thing, which I want to ask you a little bit more about, Birchy, in a second. But I'll just tell you one story. Like we were sitting on the riverbank last year, and a ton of rain came through, and it sort of came around and wrapped around behind us. And we'd fished this same spot a couple of times already over the previous few days. And Birchy said, tonight in a couple of hours, this creek, and it was just this tiny little drain that we were fishing. He's like, you'll hear it coming. He's like, you'll just hear this roar. And we're like, what do you mean? He's like, there'll be a roar and that river bank's just going to break. We're like, what? And he's like, yeah, give it a couple of hours.
There were no
you.
visual signs.
Nothing. The rain wrapped around the back of us. And he's like, there's probably been enough rain over the past few days, but this thing, and it would happen once every year. Once a year, I reckon it would happen. And within 2 hours of Birchy saying it, you could just hear this, like this roaring coming. And we were like, no way. And this just like ravage of water.
Like a rapid.
Like a rapid of water. It was like the Moore River breaking or something like that.
Yeah,
everything
right.
just broke out into the river and there's crocodiles and everything coming up. And it was
Fish
just like,
jumping.
and I was like, mate, he just knew it was going to happen. And it's just experience and being out there.
The Crocs and the fish, they knew it was
everything.
coming too.
The Crocs started coming up the river up towards it as well. So it's like Birchy's like one of the Crocs or the Barra. It was it's like a dinner bell going off, but he just knew that it was going to happen. And they're sort of experiences that you have out there. And it's like, mate, he didn't look at a phone, a tide chart, a weather map or anything. It's just like
That's just
experience of living on the land.
Knowing your area.
Tell us about, so I want you kick every tour off with a smoking ceremony, Birchy. Tell us about that and why that's so important.
So smoking ceremony is very important to us, just passing our culture on and welcoming. So we say, welcome to our country, it's just mainly on Ballangar area where we do our, like, welcome viewers onto Ballangar country to, I speak to my ancestor, my great-grandfather. He was the last king of all kings in our tribe. His name is Amos. And he look after us, he protects us, and the people we welcome on to our area, he look after them and make them safe on the area. Reason why we do that, to protect you in the spiritual world. We still believe in spirits. I've seen a lot of spirits in my time, and it's also a healing. When you're sitting in the river, my ancestors will talk to you and speak to you and clear your mind when you're fishing and look after you. And when you leave my country, you come home, you'll be a happy, clear mind, and you think, fuck, I want to get back up there again, or I don't want to leave. You'll feel that, bro, when you come. It's amazing. And, just when he will always be present as well when you're doing a smoking ceremony. You get goosebumps, like I got goosebumps now.
Dude, I got them too, literally.
It's when you go through that smoke, bro, you just feel it, like the presence of him and our other ancestors as well, and just welcome you to that area, and you just feel at home. You walk around, and they'll give you signs, bro. Like I can be sitting down, like I'll tell you on this one, I can be sitting, my line could be 20 meters in the grass. I'll get up and run. He said, "What are you running for?" I said, "I'm a line biting." But things like that, bro. Even just sitting down and you look at the Coburn Ranges, and you're thinking, "Where am I?" Like it's just clears your mind. You're relaxed. You're just sitting back and thinking,
yeah,
you don't want the day to end.
And once you do one of the smoking ceremonies, you're welcome in that country.
Welcome, yep. And they'll protect you in the spiritual world, look after you, and keep you safe. Everywhere.
There's more to it than just rocking up and catching a fish.
Yep.
In a place like that.
It's like, as much as this is like a fishing experience, exactly what you just said. Like it's a full experience. Like you walk away from there and you feel something else. Just like that. That was unbelievable.
We're talking about it for the listeners so they've got some sort of context, but I think we just need to report back here.
We got to do another podcast after.
Yeah.
Especially with a few of the boys. So last year, like I said, it's not been easy. Like Reese went that whole trip and donutted. he didn't land a barra. We all caught barra, but Reese from Westerberg, he kept dropping barra and he was landing big ones. I reckon he was using massive mullet and just the hooks weren't setting properly. Like they were mouthing it a bit.
Yep.
But Nath as well. It was the last.
They're an implosion feeder too. I mean, Birchy might be able to touch them. Or do you use circles or J hooks or what's go?
Secret.
Can't tell you.
Just a J hook. I don't use circle.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and on the last night of our trip, 5 days, the rod goes off and Rob, who we've had in the hot seat from the Bully Butcher.
The one that you blame for losing your big barra.
And Reese hadn't caught a fish and Nath had caught about 10 barra. And the rod went off and they were sitting next to each other and Nath bolted over. And he's like set the hooks and then Reese was sort of half getting off his chair and we all looked over and were like, Nath, you fucking dog.
He would have been cracking up too.
So this trip, we're taking the boat up as well. That's one thing we haven't mentioned. So we're taking the fish trap up and we've got a sneaky little addition, Birch. We've got live scope going on the front of it. So.
What do you reckon?
I'm not a fan of live scope.
I thought you'd say this. Not the purest way, but I think we need to get more into the juicy stuff with the fishing now because, that's what people are here for. So Barra tips, we've already spoken about tides. We've spoken about baits earlier on with your chunk baits. What about lures, Birchy? You said you throw lures around as well. So what are some of your lure techniques and some of your lures of choice?
My go-to lure is a Helco rooster popper. That rig right there.
Yep.
Nice.
So that's a 80. That's the size that you use mostly, right?
80, yep.
The goat popper, eh?
Yeah.
So this is the first popper that Rex, this exact colour, is the popper that Birchy tied on when I did the fishing charter. And I've told this story before, but I thought we were just sitting there to kill time. We had live baits out and it looked like a sort of shallow bank. And one thing you do, if you go on a charter with Birchy, don't try and tell him how to fish, all right? Because he knows his country, he knows what techniques
If you get on any boat or go on a trip with anybody, don't tell them how to fish.
Yeah, this is their, like go along for the ride and learn tips off them. Don't be an expert. And anyway, he tied on one of these poppers on Rex's line and Birchy cast it out. Rex wasn't old enough to cast. And he was like, righto, just pop this back, like teaching him how to bloop a popper. And I was thinking, he's like, we'll do this while we're waiting and hopefully we'll hook up. And I was thinking, that's awesome. He's teaching my son how to work a popper. And I was thinking we're killing time. Anyway, on about the third cast of Rex working this popper back, he's like, no, pause it, wait. Yep, now work it again. And he started getting the technique. I'm sitting back in a deck chair alongside him and an 80 centimetre barra just cartwheels on this popper off the surface and like Rex by himself, I think he was 5 or maybe 5 years old, has landed a 80 centimetre topwater barra as his first ever barra on the bank of the river. And I was just sitting there like with my jaw dropped, like proudest moment of just about my life. And Birchy's just like looked over and he's like, that's how it's done, big fella. And I was just like thinking
that would be a proud moment
dude.
if you're watching your oldest boy get his first barra. And also too, for anybody that, doesn't know, Lek, when we're off air, you haven't met Lecker, when we talk fishing, it's somehow we could be talking about Dewey's down south, we could be talking about Mulloway in the river, and the conversation always comes back to Barra. Lek always finds a way to bring it back to Barra.
So that lure right there, Birchy, if you're going to have one lure in your tackle box, up in the East Kimberley, it would be the Helco Rooster Popper.
Yeah, most definitely. That'd be the first lure in the box.
And that colour, colour for you.
Also blue, I like that. I love that one, and also the green and red.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's a green.
Just the contrast?
Yeah, just the contrast.
Similar to that lure that's on the wall behind you there?
Yeah, just red bottom, also soft plastics, they go pretty good. Different colours like blue, green, red.
Yep. Nice.
Some darker lures like black. I use black and red as well.
Yep.
They work pretty good.
Contrast.
Yeah.
What I'm picking up here. I've actually gone late.
Sorry, just before we move on, and working poppers at night, you really like that as well because at night time you have a theory with what the barra do, particularly on that stretch of the river where you fish.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, definitely. They like I said, they feed it at night more and they're more aggressive. So, and you just work it slower. I look at the marine when I pull up at a spot, I can fish any river system. I'll take 10 minutes just to look around, see how the mullet swimming around, and I'll make my lure swim exactly like that mullet.
Yep.
So if
that's the hatch.
If the mullets are swimming fast, you work your lure fast. Mullet just cruising around, especially the popper or the soft plastic, just slow, steady.
And the barra at night time, you reckon they come up and feed in the shallows?
In the shallow, right in the shallows.
We'll get a couple of night sessions in surely.
Mate, I'll be fishing only in the night time. It's going to be 45 degrees during the day.
I'll be sweating our holes.
Yeah.
So I've actually started shopping already, Birchy. So I've picked up a few. Just the only education I really got from Barra is what Lek tells me, and then also what I've seen on TV. Right,
Yeah,
so
that's all you need to know, mate.
Picked up a few. I've gone for the paddle tails here. I think this Irukandji Sicario.
They
or
swim
something
so
like
good,
that.
man.
Yeah, we were throwing them. Lek and I were actually in the pool. we were throwing them in the pool yesterday, checking them all out. But yeah, pretty quick sinking. So something like that, is that you'd have a bit of confidence
perfect,
in
bro.
that?
Yeah, that's
Sick. A couple of trebles and a big hook on top.
what do you got this?
So this is a mullet. Panic
Station,
Station mullet. Yeah, so you're obviously quite familiar with them. But it's at Shane Compain that
Yeah,
makes
in Darwin,
these.
yeah.
Yeah, so these look unreal. And this, I every lure that I get, whether it's a bibbed minnow or a sinking stick bait, a popper or whatever, I like to kind of have a bit of an understanding of how that lure works before I throw it, right? So that way you know how to work it, some intricacies of that lure. This thing looks amazing in the water.
What I've found out what works good for them when you're on the pause, because you can pull it. And when you pause it, it just sinks down and it swims by itself.
Yeah.
That's when they smash it.
Yeah, that beat, like that paddle tail, there's so much weight, you can feel that, but the vibration.
I never ever got a hit on the retrieve, only on the pause.
Yeah, okay.
So you pull it and they're swimming, and when you let stop, it just goes down and then bang.
Sounds like a mulloway.
So that's super important with barramundi, right?
Yeah.
Because they'll follow it. And
They can
you'll
follow
see
it
it
all
in
the
the
way.
aqua tank. We're going to the four-wheel drive show after this, and we've got a tank full of barramundi. But we're able to cast lures, and you'll see them, and they got their eyes on top of their head, and they'll just sit there
And wait,
and follow it
that
and
first
follow
little
it.
movement.
And as soon as you stop that lure, they'll go, all right, something's wrong. And then as soon as you go again, bang.
Bang.
Are we talking a pretty long pause or? Sort of
Like 2 to 3 seconds. Like
yeah, right. So that's
pause.
relatively long in fishing speak.
And it just once you go down a bit and then you sort of dig it back up again.
Yeah.
Mainly on the pause, they smash it.
Yeah, okay.
It was like I was saying, they come even with the poppers, they'll follow it to the edge, but right at your foot. And then I always say pause next to the bank because they'll follow it, and bang, like right there.
Last barrow I caught up. Yeah, mate. Last barrow I caught
Last year,
was literally where that camera is from the bank. And that fish could have followed the popper in from 20, 30 meters out.
Yeah.
So I usually with a popper, I cast it out and wind 4 pops, pop, 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 and I'll pause, pop, 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 pause. And then next cast, I'll mix it up. I'll go fast, pause.
Yeah.
Well, not very fast, just speeder. I'll go back slow again.
Wow. What's your theory about how barra hunt? Do you reckon they're like quite a visual fish? Because the water's so dirty up there, right? Like
for me, barramundis are scavengers.
Okay.
They're hungry. They'll eat.
Yeah.
I caught barra on catfish, on red meat, on anything.
Yeah.
It comes down to water temperature up there as well,
And
right?
the water temperature plays a big part. Like in the dry season, as soon as the temperature get under 24, you're finished.
As in the water temperature,
Yep.
under 24 degrees.
Yep. As soon as it starts getting cold, the barra shut off. You can put a mullet or lure in front of them, and
Won't eat.
they won't eat unless they're hungry. They'll eat. Then we just fish the tides because the tide bring warmer water up.
Okay.
And then you fish the tide, then you get some barra.
Right. You're saying they're a scavenger. Do you think like when they're hunting in that hunting mode, are they
They eat anything.
You reckon? Yeah, okay.
Anything,
They're
bro.
just kind of like the garbage truck of the river almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are they an ambush predator, you think? Do they sit behind structure or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they do used to be on like snags and stuff. They feed around the bottom and stuff.
Yeah.
But like when they're on the move and hunting, you'll hear them busting up on the top. Like even that's another tip. If barras are buffing, chuck your popper out.
Yeah.
That's like you'll see it when it comes. If they're hitting surface, then I'll throw my popper out.
Yeah.
I've noticed these as well. You've thrown your popper over the live baits that you've got set just to bring the noise to bring the fish in as well.
Yeah.
So they think,
tactics.
yeah. So it's like the barra will hear it and they'll come in, and then there's baits there and everything as well.
Yeah.
In noise and stuff like that, Birchy, you have one of the most unbelievable videos and experiences. I hope we can share. We got to share this video of pulling up at a spot and it literally sounded like gunshots going off. Tell us
fireworks. That is up at the Umbulgari track. We was up there last year in May, and I knew this spot. It was just crazy. Like with barra.
Don't give away the location, but
it's crazy, bro. We walk through the spot, mangrove, and you can hear them
just sucking mullet off the surface or something.
Bro, it was just popping.
Have you seen the video?
You've showed me, but I've also seen a couple of other videos on social media of similar thing.
Fireworks, bro.
They jumped on the bank, didn't they?
One jump on the bank just by itself.
Just flopped up there.
Yeah. We ended up pulling at 45 out of there in 20 minutes.
No way.
Yeah, it was just unreal fishing.
Mate, you are selling it to me. God. How good.
We can't keep going for much longer because we are going to get on the road in a minute. We got to go to the Full Drive Adventure Show for the day. We got
we're all
Rothy on
gonna be
stage.
there.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. But Birchy, before we've got some more listener questions and stuff, but I want to talk. Tell us a little bit about the dangers up there because there's obviously plenty of Crocs. Have you had any encounters with Crocs?
Surge up,
Loaded question.
Surge up, croc attack in Wyndham. Yeah, I've been attacked 2018 by a crocodile. Yeah.
We can't skim over that. You got to tell us that story.
Yeah,
How the hell did that happen?
So it is a local Barra Comp weekend up in Wyndham in April, and we were getting ready for the night before, the night before, getting all that net and everything ready. And it's like 12:30 at night. I said, you know what, fuck it, let's go get some bait. Let's load up. So at 4 o'clock in the morning when we sign up, let's just send it straight out. So we went down to this creek on the side of the highway. We've been going there all our life as kids. Like it's you could see my front door is 5K from the house. See the lights, everything. See the whole town. And I was running through the cast net, got some bait, not even knee deep water. And when I do the second cast, bro, this croc come flying out of the water. So when I cast it spread out and hit the middle of the net and landed on top of me. I didn't know
how far from the water are you?
I'm in the water.
Oh my God.
Not even knee deep. So it's like, and the road's from here to the front of the driveway, the main highway with the culprit.
Wow.
It's on the side of the highway. Cars going past, everything. And my wife and my other brother was there. And this croc come flying at the water, like water splashed everywhere, head towards John, and I fell down in the water. And this croc's on top of me with my net. And me rolling around, he's stretching me up, trying to get out of the net. And I got up and I walking back. And somehow he got out of the cast net. I don't know how he got out of the net.
How big was this croc?
2.5 meters.
So, really, it's a small croc in the scheme of things, but you don't want to fuck with
it. The power, mate.
Like,
the power behind it was, I didn't know what was happening. I was like walking back, and then he got up from over here, the cameras away, and then I threw the net and I missed him again because I was fair way out, on the culprit. And I walked back, and then the third time I hit the culprit. I was like, I'm bugging. And he got up again and thinking in his head, I got you now. You're fucked. And then my brother grabbed my collar of my shirt and yanked me because I couldn't get up. I was
panic,
bro. I was panicking. I was stage fright. And my brother grabbed me, and that croc jumped and scratched me. I'm all healed up now. He didn't get a hold of me with his teeth, but he scratched me all up. And I sat down there, and then my body just, within 10 minutes, man, my body's like a balloon. All the bacteria, and it's just dirty and stink. And
don't look to your left right now. It would give you a...
Yeah, that's right. With a popper in its mouth.
With the green and red popper in its mouth.
Yeah, and then we went to the hospital and got seen to. And
there's an actual news article of it. So if you look Sam Birch.
Oh, yeah, bit of B-roll for a clip.
Yeah.
And then, he's in croc heaven now. He's
he died of old age.
He died of old age. But yeah, like now, you might, if you follow me on socials, you'll see me running in the water with the cast net the other day with Justin. I'm tripping a van.
Oh, that was so
we were laughing at that
funny.
yesterday. We replayed it about 10 times.
I was running like Usain Bolt.
Yeah, mate, you got some pace on you.
I said that to Birch.
You got that black fella speed, eh?
He goes, yeah, I was Usain Bolt. And I was like, oh, fuck, I thought it was going to be the perfect circle throw net. Would have been a wicked video. He goes, net was packed. He goes, I still got mullet.
Oh, yeah, that's good, bro. But, yes, the croc attack. Well, now I'm more like before I had no fear. I would risk my life for my cast net. Now I just rip it back and leave it there. I'd jump in the water, underwater, get my net out, and it's just
so
worth it.
Birchy, snakes are the other thing you've had an experience.
Yeah, bro.
Tell us about that.
My daughter got bit by a Western brown at the Pentecost.
Which I'm pretty sure that's the second deadliest or the deadliest snake in Australia, right?
Same thing. Another Barra Comp weekend. About 30 of us family members sleep along the river. There's 3 different fires and camps in different areas. All the kids are playing around, like a lot of noise. Got me still thinking today, why was a snake there? A lot of vibration, everybody moving around. I got back on the little tinny with my daughter, filleting fish for dinner. And she said, oh, Dad, I want to go change. I just had a shower. I'm going to go change. I said, no worries. She went around behind next to the Lovelux and changed and come back very calmly. And she said, oh, Dad, I think a king brown bit me. And I was like,
how old's your daughter at this age?
She would have been 10.
Wow.
Oh, no, sorry, 11. She would have been 11.
Was a young kid.
12. Sorry, 12. She would have been 12 years old 4 years ago. And they come up very calmly and me and my wife just dropped everything, tucked in the car. That's why I'll never ever sell my Hilux. Like we call it the Love Lux. It saved your life.
Yeah.
It took me 14 minutes, 120 Ks. It took me 40 minutes from sending it. I
Just
hit
panic, eh?
Panic, yeah. I hit the panic in third gear, mate. The quickest I ever crossed it.
Yeah.
It took me 40 minutes from Home Valley to the hospital in Kanara.
And didn't you have a cop mate that you rang?
Yeah,
And you just
yeah.
he came out and you're like,
I rang my brother up on the way in, one of the boys, and he was an inspector up there. And I said, bro, my daughter just get bit by a snake. I'm breaking the law. I'm speeding. Can you give me an escort? When I hung up on him and he met me in the road, he's like, what the fuck is it? No, it's lying, bro. I even broke the speed.
you overtook him, didn't you?
I overtook him, bro. I was gone. I got to the hospital. I'm very, very thankful for the nurses up there. They're very switched on what they do and their job, mate. And I got there and they wouldn't believe us. Like, oh, we can't find the entry hole.
So before you go here, that's because you guys wrapped it,
yeah,
right?
so at there, as soon as he told us, we wrapped her leg, strapped everything.
Compression bandage.
Compression, bro, everything. We strapped her up. And the main key, if you ever get bit by a snake, is just try and be calm as you can.
But wrap it real tight.
And wrap it really tight and just be calm. A lot of people say, oh, you got to lay down or sit down. The best thing to do is just sit up and just be very calm as much as you can. We got there and they wouldn't believe us because they couldn't find anything. And as soon as they took blood, she had full venom in her body.
Wow.
But the bandages was just saving her life. So as soon as they gave her the anti-venom and they took the strapping off, she felt more sick from the anti-venom. And then she had to stay in 4 days just to flush all her kidneys out and stuff. But it's very, very scary.
Wow. One of the boys at work got bitten by a brown recently.
Yep.
Yeah. I asked him, I said, oh, are you all right? He goes, yeah, I'm all good. I said, where's the snake? And he goes, it died of alcohol poisoning. He bit on the beers the day before. And that's a crazy story. So, fuck, man. So, yeah, where do we go from here? This has been absolutely amazing to talk to you.
Mate, there's so much more that I want to talk to Birchy, but I think we should save some of it until after we've done this trip. Like, you've got a love affair with 80 series. Like, you can maybe touch on it. So, couple of your cars, you got quite a few of them now. They get you to where you need to go. That's the key. We spoke about the Love Lux a little bit, but I want to know just quickly why you love the 80 series, and actually tell us as well your biggest Barra, and tell us that experience.
Yeah, well, my 80 series, I got 7 of them. Which one? They're very reliable, unbreakable, easy to fix, easy to maintain. You can carry everything in a toolbox to fix that whole car.
Yep. Big Barry's still running for us.
Big Baz is half running at the moment.
Yep.
She's waiting. We got all my. It's funny. All my cars are named after the porn stars. So. I don't name them.
Well, you are on the casting couch, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
all the boys name them. You got Big Barry, Big Johnny. You got Shane Diesel. You got Johnny's named after Johnny Sins.
You're gonna have to name one Jake Rotham.
A client said to a lady, said, "Oh, why is it named after Big Johnny?" I said, "I act on movies." "Oh, what movie?" I said, "I don't know."
He's my doctor. My favourite doctor.
You don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like I said earlier on it about Panicos and why it's my favorite river, I caught all my biggest fish out of the Panicos, and this year I got 5 over $1.30 out of there. My biggest is $1.37, all on hand line.
Mate.
All on hand line, and it's.
Do you reckon at that length, like I've heard a theory, I think we were talking about it, like a jewfish, like a West Australian jewfish, right? Like as the length gets, it gets to the bigger end of, their growth cycle, the length says a lot about them, but they actually start to grow out. Like they don't grow that much longer. They just get taller and wider.
So when they go past $1.10, bro, it just goes boom.
Yeah.
Like my $1.11. But honestly, if you catch a small Barra, they jump out of the water, they full body jump and everything like that. The moment you know you've hooked a big Barra is
just the head.
They go, all of a sudden the rod tips like a slow, it's same as probably a big mull away.
Yeah.
They
bow
down,
to you.
But then the Barra jump they're so big, you get half a body out. It's like a marlin. In a big marlin, like you see the big ones come out, it's just the head. And then when you actually get it on the bank, you put your hand in its mouth and pull it up. They are. I've never seen one meter 20 plus, but the one that Birchy
You're
got me
about
onto,
to, mate.
the meter 11. It was just like you stand over it and you're just literally in awe of these fish, mate, because you know how small they come from to how big they come from.
Even when you hold it up, people say, "Oh, you hear bullshit stories. Oh, I got meter 40 or whatever," and they say, "Oh, I held it up with one hand." Like, fuck.
No way. No.
Other day, that meter 26, bro, I was struggling to hold it up.
Yeah, you look like you're about to shit your pants.
I was like, hurry up.
Yeah.
Hurry up. And like even with that meter 35 I got this year in January, man, that thing, the mouth is just like grabbing a bucket.
Yeah.
Bro, when it came out of the water, like, oh yeah, good barra jump, like big head. Like, oh yeah, good $1.20 here. And then just come out of the water, like, what the fuck
It's
is that?
huge, eh?
And I went down and grabbed, I couldn't even carry it up the bank. And just mess around, like holding it up. And
River monsters, eh?
River monsters, bro.
And that mate, so that is the obsession that you get. You have slack, like nice calm water, using small light gear, bait casters, lures, all that stuff. And every cast you have the opportunity to catch a fish of a lifetime with like this amazing backdrop.
Yeah.
That is why barramundi for me are just the top of the list.
Yeah. I know I'm about to become
you're going to lose your
sorts
shit.
of addicted. Yeah.
I
can't wait to do this trip.
Should we do some listener questions?
We have to do some listener questions. We got some absolute bangers. So
Hang on
just quickly, Birchy, while
Yeah,
Leg's trying to bring these up, where can people find your business, mate? So
They can-
Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook,
website.
my website.
What is your website?
Birchy's Fishing Tours.
.com.au.
Yeah.
Cool. And your Instagram handle?
Birchy's Fishing Tours.
Beautiful.
And Facebook as well.
Great. So we'll link down in the description, both on YouTube, podcast and stuff. If you want to book a trip with Birchy, which obviously I can't speak from experience, but I'll report back in a couple of weeks. It sounds like it's a must-do life experience for you. So get on there and book a tour with Birchy.
Birchy. All right. So we've got quite a few questions here. I'll ask you a couple. All right. This is probably a good one for the listeners that are keen on going up there.
Let us know who asked the question.
Yeah.
too.
So Tom Cahill 1 is his profile. What's the best time of year to catch a WA barra?
2 times of the year. The best time is now, the build-up from September to December.
Yeah. So we talk build up. Is that the rain?
Like the hot days are getting built up, very hot, very muggy mosquitoes. Because the water temperature is lovely and hot, and the big fish are now pushing back up the river to breed and stuff. And also the runoff, March, April, May.
Yep.
All right. This is fun. So this is from John O'Ellis. Do you guess the size of your fish or measure them?
I messaged you. I said, "Is this a dig?"
Yeah, that's a piece. That's it.
John should know me.
So John O catches a shitload of fish. He
Yeah,
loves
he does,
a live
yeah.
scope,
Yeah,
eh?
He does live scope,
Live
yeah.
scope sniper.
He's a good friend of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a gun fisher. He actually would be a good chat, I reckon.
Yeah,
Fishes a
wonder.
lot more around Broome and that, eh?
Yeah, Broome,
Yeah.
does all that stuff. Comes up to Pentecost. When he sees me start reeling them in, he gives me a text, "Where they biting, brother? I'm coming up."
Yeah. So Jack Hawkins, neap tides or spring tides? I think you answered.
Neeps, bro.
Yeah. All right. What do we? This one's from What Mud Crab. Can you put a pink hat on Lecker and see if it has the same magic as yours?
Yeah, well, funny you say that. I was gonna bring my lucky hat down and wear it on stage, but I got a few pink hats for the boys when they come up.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So why pink? This is funny. Because we went up and fished with Birchy, and you wear Crocs up there. They're probably the best set of footwear that you can have.
Apparently I got to buy a pair, unfortunately.
And I was like, Birchy, you got pink Crocs on, mate. What's the go? And
Well, your brothers won't steal it. That's the first thing. But also, I love pink. Pink's my favorite color.
Oh, you got a bit of pink on now.
Yeah, I love pink. Yeah.
yeah, he was like, if I wear pink Crocs, no one will steal my shoes. I was
Yeah,
like, "That's
and
not bad."
go back to that pink hat thing. My sister-in-law from Halls Creek. That's all her brand and stuff. And I love pink. I was always after a pink hat, and that'll suit me. And I went into the warehouse, and I was like, I'm grabbing 50 of these fucking things. And I put them on, and like bang, and then. But the funniest thing, ever since I got that hat, every time I go fishing, bro, I get meteries every day.
Lucky hat.
Like even before that, I used to get 1 or 2, but that hat, I only wear it when I just go fishing. Right now it's in my cupboard sitting pretty with all my other new clean hats and that big dirty thing.
Yeah. You've
I
actually
never washed it. It's just dirty as fuck and it's just the best.
Yeah. Nice. You've actually that was like me with my hand wraps with boxing. I never washed my hand wraps as gross as that was. Fuck, if I wash them, I'll lose my touch. But
I was like me with my lucky jocks in footy.
I'll buy them off you for $5 and I'll sell them with that photo that you put up behind me on eBay. There's one question I want you to ask on there, Lek, from a grommet who was in Kununurra. So I don't have my phone on me. Here we go. Lucas Dines. I'm a local in Kununurra and I'm 13 and love fishing. I just can't seem to break the meter. Any tips?
Oh, come up with me. I'll take it. No, just keep trying, brother. It'll come. That day will come. Just keep doing what you're doing, depending if you're lure baiting or lures or where you're fishing in the river system.
Yep.
It'll come.
So big rivers or small rivers or any, like, is there?
So if you're chasing a Barra and Kununurra, it'll be like mainly the Ord River, but just be very careful of Crocs. That's all.
The Ord River's like,
mate, that's Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Can't wait to see all
Jurassic
this
Park.
shit. Hey, one more thing. You just mentioned your lucky hat. I want you to touch on very quickly because we are in a rush. Your lucky hand line that you were meant to bring today.
My little red. I had it on the table. So that little red, that's caught my biggest Barra on it.
Yep.
1.37 m. And I don't usually use it anymore. That's retired.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mate, you have to retire it.
I think my wife's bringing it today. So.
Beautiful. So yeah, we obviously do. Oh, we can hear Em in the background. That's all right.
Wait for a sec. Going at you.
I
I got to hit the kids.
All right. So no, it's not coming through the microphones anyway.
Sweet.
Wall of Fame. Obviously, we've got this new Wall of Fame thing going on where all of our guests can bring in a lucky lure or a hook or whatever. Birchy was meant to bring in Little Red for the wall, which says a lot, man. Willing to let go of Little Red. That's saying something. So nice. We'll get that on there. I think Birchy's wife's flying down, and she'll bring the hand line down. So we'll show you on the socials. But let's go to quickfire, Lek.
Hang on, we got to do the wood duck moment.
Well,
before
I think we
do.
just heard the wood duck moment, didn't we, with the croc?
It's got to be your biggest fuck up, isn't it? What's your biggest fuck up, Birchy?
And I wouldn't say the croc.
Jesus Christ. Could be a big one.
I'd say that, croc,
Getting bogged as well. That's probably.
If the mud ain't flying, you ain't dry.
We need to get some quotes in here.
Stick up there.
Hey, one thing, we got to get some quotes on the wall here. But yeah, one thing I reckon, the Birchy said that I picked up on is if you don't look after the country doesn't look after you. That's epic.
Got a 3 meter.
That is a hook. That is a very, very good quote, that one.
Birchy, we finished with quick fire.
Yeah.
And let's go. First thing that pops into your head. Top 3 eating fish.
Barra.
What about Dewey? I took Birchy out for a Dewey. He spewed his ring hole up. Where do you rate that?
That's up there.
Yeah.
And also that pink snapper.
Yeah, that was good.
That was lovely.
So Barra and Barra?
I love Barra.
Yeah, all right. Daiwa or Shimano?
Shimano.
Yeah. You love the Calcuttas as well, eh?
Depending what rod. Like what are we fishing? Daiwa for the casting, but for live baiting, the Shimano Calcutta, mate.
Yeah, because of ratchet.
Yeah.
One lure for the rest of your life.
Bobber.
Best boat snack or best bank snack?
Ribbons on the coals.
Oh, rib bones on the coals.
Oh, yeah.
And bush turkey. Bucket list destination.
Bucket list destination.
Go fishing.
To go fishing.
Yeah.
Abrolhos Island.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have
Yeah,
to
I
try
haven't
and
been
make
there.
I got
it.
my best mates there. One of my best mates there, he's down there. Peter Bailey.
Nice.
He's done your tours and that, eh?
He's coming back next year. Second time doing the Umbri.
Yeah, sick. If you could have a beer, but you don't drink. If you could have a meal with any fisho, dead or alive, any fisherman?
Malcolm Douglas, but yeah, he passed away.
Yeah.
The
Well,
stories.
that's part of it. Yeah.
That's a very common one.
Mate.
A lot of people say that.
I've spoken to Owen. We've had him on here as well. His grandson, really keen to come up and see your country.
You
So
met
we'll have to
Owen
introduce
before?
him.
Yeah, I met Owen.
He's
yeah,
legendary.
He's good there.
Yeah. He'll be at the show today. And any advice for a young fisherman?
Just have a crack, mate. Just keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. And also, always, like I always say, always ask locals.
Yep.
Some locals, you might walk past them, but they'll have the knowledge that you'll never, ever know
Yeah.
about that area that they're on.
Well, it's the whole concept of what we're doing here, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
These people
Always
giving
ask the
you a
local. You know, ask any, like if you walk past anyone down the street, if, like especially up in the Kimberleys, they all been out in country. They might not go out there every day, but they'll just tell you something that they do, and you might go do it. Then bang, it's something that you won't do. Like even like myself, people look at a spot. That's no fish here, but I'll pull up and fish there because I know there'll be fish there. Because people look at it and say, it's spot. Don't have structure. Don't have this. Don't have this. I'll just pull up there and pull 6-7 meters out of there.
Yeah.
You love fishing those real hard to get muddy, uncomfortable fishing
Yeah.
spots that no one else fishes.
I always
right?
say no bugs, no bites. So
There you go. That's the
Fun.
trick,
Like,
isn't it?
and
Get
the
off the
saying
mat.
is, yeah, like it's saying, like I'll push in a road. Like I always say, I was just around the corner, but you know, there's still an hour later.
Yeah.
Well, we bogged with the guts, those, you know, but the places that we go to, it's all it's just untouched.
Yeah.
Majority of the spots.
Mate, I cannot wait. I cannot bloody wait to get up there and get out with your Birchy. But
Just a quick one. I think one of my brothers sent a message to ask. Did Brent Simmons send?
Let me have a look on the
Did he ask a question?
Brent Simmons.
Nah, he's full of shit.
Nah.
Nah.
What did he say?
I don't know. He reckon,
You
I
said
know.
something?
Yeah,
he
said
might have put it to the DMs.
Yeah, he
Straight to
might
the
have.
DMs.
something stupid.
Here we go.
I know he would like something stupid.
All right, mate. Absolute epic trip.
Ahead of us.
Ahead of us, yeah. Like, and appreciate you coming in here. Did that just turn off?
Possibly.
Yeah, just turned off. Appreciate you coming in here, mate. Like, I can't wait to send it up there with you.
Nah, I can't wait,
in a couple
brother.
of weeks. Let's
Epic.
go, legend, mate.
Cheers,
Great story.
Birchy.
Cheers,
All right.
boys.
See ya.
Yep.
Tall tales. Yo.